Hello boys and girls, welcome to lesson 4.5. Today we are going to take a look at estimate quotients using compatible numbers. Today's I can statement is, I can use compatible numbers to estimate quotients. So boys and girls, before we start, let's just review some terms. Remember the term that we went over for quotients and estimate. First of all, quotient is when we divide and the number that is inside, this is called dividend. And remember the word den that we used. This is the divisor. And remember the word visor. And the result is the quotient. The result, simply the answer. When we are using compatible numbers, boys and girls, remember we can either end with 5 or 0. However, when we are estimating, the number always has to end with a 0. Now let's go on and take a look at our lesson. Please open up your Go Math workbook, page 221. If you do not have your Go Math workbook with you right in front, then you may access the Go Math workbook through your Think Central, and you can use the ebook. As I have mentioned and reviewed just before, remember that the compatible numbers can either end with 5 or 0. Estimate, it always has to end with the 0. So now let's take a look at the first example. I want you to estimate 132 divided by 3. And if we are estimating, I want you to take a look at my dividend. My dividend is just too big. It is difficult for us to estimate using 132 divided by 3. So I want to change my dividend so that it is easier for us to divide with my divisor of a 3. Now let's go on and see what kind of number I can replace my dividend of 132 with. So I'm going to take 132. And boys and girls, we're estimating. So the number that I recommend that you use ends with a 0. And for 132, I'm going to see which number it is closer to that I can use to replace the basic facts that is easier for us to use with divisor of a 3. Meaning, is my number closer to 120, 130, 140, or 150? Because when the numbers are ending with the 0, they are much easier for us to calculate. Out of these numbers, I'm going to underline the basic facts, which is 12, 13, 14, and 15. And which of these numbers can I divide by 3? I know I can divide 12, 13 I can't, 14 I can't, and I can use 15. Now, my 132, is it closer to 120 or is it closer to 150? Because my number 132 is closer to 12, I am going to use 120 instead of 150. And I will divide by 3. I know that 12 divided by 3 is giving me a 4. Remember that 0 that we kindly ignored in the beginning. Bring it over. And my estimate is 40. Now let's take a look at another problem. Example 2. Find two estimates that the quotient, remember this is the result, is between 1,382 divided by 5. So boys and girls is asking for two estimates. It is asking for estimate that is lowest, that we can make it lowest, or the largest. So let's go on and take a look at 1,382, my dividend, divide by 5, my divisor. I'm taking 1,382 and I'm going to just underline my 13. Boys and girls, will this be closer to 1,200, 1,100, 1,000? Then I'm going to go simply up because I know my number is someplace around here. Then I'll do 1,400 and I'll do 1,500 because that is my basic facts that we're going to be using. Now when we are dividing by 5, can I divide 11 by 5? Not really. 12, 14. I know that I can take 1,000 and divide equally by 5. I can also take 1,500, divide equally by 5. Those are the two numbers that is closest to 1,382. Now, I'm going to underline my basic facts. I'm going to do 1,000 divide by 5, underlining my basic facts. Circle that 2 zeros. I'm going to ignore that for now. 10 divided by 5 is giving me 2. Carry the 0 over. My estimate is around 200. I'm going to underline my 15. 15 divided by 5 is 3. Remember that 2 0 that I ignored. Bring it over. And my second estimate will be 300. So boys and girls, when we're estimating between 1,382 divided by 5, I know that my number has to end between 200 and 300. Let's take a look at one more problem together. Let's estimate 1,718 divide by 4. And let's find the estimates that are in between. So boys and girls, the first thing that we need to do is we need to underline the basic facts, which is 17. And let's look for the compatible numbers. I have 1,600, 1,500, 1,400, 1,300, and I have 1,200. Then I have 1,700, 1,800, 1,900, and 2,000. I just went above just to be safe. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna try to choose. I have a divisor of a 4. And I know that my number, 1718, is somewhere near here. Is it closer to 1,700 and can I divide that by 4? Is 17 multiple of a 4? The answer is no. So I will cross that one out. Then I will go to the previous one, which is 1,600, underlining 16. And is 16 multiple of a 4? Yes, it is. So I can go on and put that in a box. Now I have the one that is below. I have a compatible that I can work for my low number. Now let's go up. I know that my 1718 is somewhere around here. And if I go up, the next number is 1,800. Is 18 multiple of a 4? Not really. 19? Nope. 20? Yes, it is. So I will use 1600 divide by 4. Then I will also use 2000 divide by 4. Don't forget to underline the basic facts. I'm going to circle my 0. I'm going to do 16 divide by 4, which is going to give me a 4. Carry my 0 down. My first estimate will be 400. I'm going to go to my second estimate. Underline the basic facts, which is 20. Circle that 0. I'm going to ignore that for now. Then I'll do 20 divide by 4, giving me 5. Carry the 20 down, and my second estimate will be 500. So my estimate will be between 400 and 500.